Hey there, ladies and gents, and welcome to Digitrib. Today we are taking a look at a 2D platform brawler fighting game that came out earlier this week called ICEY. I have just completed this game, and man, can I say that this is truly an experience unlike anything I've really played ever. Just period. However, as to why that is the case, it's hard to really say. There's a lot of secrets to the game, let's just leave it at that. Secrets that I don't necessarily want to spoil for anyone who might be curious about it. However, that being said, let's actually take a look at what you will be doing throughout the majority of the game. That is hack and slash. Right off from the get-go though, let's talk about the graphics. This game is absolutely gorgeous, unlike anything I've seen in terms of a platformer ever before. It's got this wonderful brush style painting going on with this character that looks like she was pulled straight out of an anime, and it's just absolutely fluid in terms of its movement system. I've never played anything like this before, in terms of just how the combat works, and just how fast it is. Like, I've been playing it for hours, and my hand just feels like it's been destroyed after playing it on the hardest difficulty that you're able to select. And just not button mashing, but very carefully cutting your way through the enemies while moving as quickly as you possibly can so that you're not killed. Anyway, without further ado, let me actually show you what the combat's all about and what the gameplay is all about. Now remember, this might all seem rather standard and fair. Also, it's a Chinese game, which is quite interesting. Now this might seem like standard affair, right? So you hack your way through your enemies and stuff like that, absolutely no problems. The combat is fast, fluid, and easily the highlight of this game, or one of the highlights of this game, rather. There is one other big part to this game. However, again, it's something that I just can't spoil. Let's just say it involves the fourth wall, or rather lack thereof, in a wonderfully clever way. If you've ever played the Stanley Parable, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you've not, then give this game a look-see, because right now it is only running at $8.99 or $9.99, I think it is. It is. I do not regret this this purchase at all.
艾希来到了寂静的山丘，远方的哈利湖波光粼粼，艾希心中的使命无比清晰。
It was one of those games that was really easy to pick up and figure out also. Once I understood how ICEY worked, once I understood how she moved, it was very much a matter of just experimenting, and then eventually I just ended up becoming a master at cutting just through all of these bad guys in a way that like just made me feel super powerful. I feel like I'm a Dragon Ball Z character actually when I play this, and I love it. Like the amount of speed, as I'm sure you can see, is just it's insane. I'm probably going to end up actually doing a full review on this game in a minute. Probably not, of course, tonight. However, probably in the near future, don't be surprised if you see a review of this game out there, because this is a game that really deserves people's attention. Already, it's actually sitting at, I believe, a 94% on IGN. I mean, on IGN. On Steam. Alright, let's go across this bridge and just keep cutting our way through all the bad guys, shall we? It's also got a little bit of a philosophical discussion behind it, which is always also fun. Right, when the game makes you think a bit more as to why you were actually doing the things that you're doing, and then when it actually gives you the freedom to do what you want. There's a lot of hidden paths and Easter eggs in this game that, you know, just need to be explored. But again, I really can't even talk about it without ruining what makes this game amazing and incredible. And like, again, if you've played the Stanley Parable, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't spoil this kind of game for people, right? You just let them figure out what they're in for. However, I think that this is actually even more impressive than the Stanley Parable in that regard, which might be like heresy, but it was just, it's so well done, and it's so funny. This game is very, very funny. As for the actual narrative itself, it's a little bit I don't want to say convoluted, but like, it's not super described, right? But I feel like maybe that's also because I didn't pay enough attention to it. I had other people watching me play this while I was going through it, and they absolutely loved every single second of it as well. It was actually Michael who was watching it with me. I was telling Vironic earlier about this game, and he's a
ICEY 来
fellow
到了
YouTuber.
越
You
野
should give
森
him a
林，
look-see.
在他的前方就是达哈。等等，桥呢？
So yeah, that was the joke.
你还是跟着箭头走吧。
That's part of the humor to this game. I don't know if you read the subtitles or not. However, there is a serious amount of
艾希跳了下来，
fourth wall
这里
breaks,
似乎是个下
to
水
say the least, to this game. But there's so much more to it if you just keep digging. Like, so you'll find little things like that where the guy's like, wait a minute, the programmer didn't finish writing in the code, or he didn't put a bridge in there when I told him to, or something. However, it ends up being so much more than that. It's got a very Metroidvania feel to it. However, and in fact, actually, yeah, I think that that's the most accurate way to put it. At first I was going to say that it wasn't because there's not a lot of puzzles, but there actually is platforming in this game. It's not just hack and slash, however, it's hidden in a very clever way. This is a very clever game, and very well created. Like, it's clear that this game was given, like, lots of love when it went into its development, and I would not be surprised if this game ends up winning a ton of awards. I know that I'm going to press for people to definitely give it a shot.
周围悬跳。
And I know it sounds like I'm absolutely gushing over this game, but that's because I literally just finished it. And as I finished it, I was like, I need to make a video on this, like, right away. I actually started making a video earlier today. It was my absolute first playthrough. However, I was like, while the footage was okay, this is definitely a much more accurate representation of what you can eventually see yourself doing. I may upload the original video as well. However, right now,
来到了一个巨大的空洞。
I'm just going with the flow. And again, I am just doing everything that the game tells me to do because I don't want to spoil anything. Just know that there are many different things that you can do to this game that you might not have actually expected. I know that I didn't expect it. I completely missed him. There we go. Oh. Oh. Like, the combat just amazes me to have such a fluid system inside of a 2D platformer or action brawler. I guess that's what
艾
you
希
call
跟着
this,
箭
is
头
action brawler.
穿过了开启的大门。
It's wonderful. Like, this game is wonderful. I don't know how many people actually were in the development of this. I think it might have only been like one, maybe two. I don't know, I'll have to give some actual, like... I'm gonna have to look up whoever actually made this game, because it's just... wow. When I don't normally play indie games either, but when you talk about what indie games are capable of and how they go against the mold and the grain of what you can expect out of your typical development process, this is what, you know, people look at. Things like either the Stanley Parable or this or Rocket League or Braid. You know, it's these kind of games that really show off, honestly, what video games are capable of. And I love it. I love it. I love it. You would never see a company like EA make something like this. Ever. Ever. You'd never see it. But this is where you will find a lot of the creativity. And with every single game coming out these days being a sequel of some kind, or a digital remaster, or some other kind of lame, you know, shit, this is where all the creativity went. It went to a bunch of people who played video games when they were young, and they wanted to actually make their own, without the limitations of, you know, some big budget corporation telling them what they can and can't make. This is where you find the passion. This is where you find the drive. This is where you find the people who love just video games in general. And this guy's creation shows it. Again, it's very difficult for me to explain why this game is so good without ruining the very thing that makes it just amazing. So go out, fork over $10 if you got it, because I mean it's worth the $10. Alright, so if you wanted an impromptu review of it before the actual review comes out, here it is. Graphically speaking, I'm sure it doesn't need to be said. This game is gorgeous. And in terms of combat, it is frantic. I mean incredibly frantic. In fact, I'm going to show you how frantic it is. I'm going to go and pick a fight with a completely optional boss that you don't need to fight at all in the game, in order to show off just how wonderful this game is. buy this game.